Thanks to someone oversleeping, today's lunch is instant noodles.
I'm sorry, Richard. I'll make sure to cook properly tomorrow.
You keep saying that. Last week was the same excuse.
I really mean it this time.
When will you actually follow through?
I'm trying my best.
I was looking forward to a proper lunch after that big meeting. Your best isn't good enough lately.
I know I've been struggling.
With what exactly? You're at home all day.
I wake up feeling so sick every morning.
That's becoming a daily excuse.
The mornings are really difficult.
That's putting it mildly.
I haven't been able to sleep well with the back pain.
You need to push through it. Everyone deals with discomfort.
I've been trying to manage the pain.
You said the same thing last time, and then we ended up having instant food for 2 days straight.
But I've been up since 4 a.m. with nausea.
Plus, dinner was just thrown together, too.
I had to lie down between cooking.
More excuses.
The doctor said the nausea might get worse in the 3rd trimester.
Every pregnant woman deals with this.
Everyone experiences it differently.
Every single morning it's something new with you.
The morning sickness has gotten worse lately.
That's becoming your daily excuse now.
Yesterday was the dizziness. Today, the nausea won't stop.
There's always something.
I've been trying to cook between the nausea spells.
Try harder.
I can barely keep any food down.
And what about the other housework?
I managed to do some laundry before the dizziness started.
The house is still a mess.
I'll need to rest more often now.
The house looks worse every day.
I'm sorry, but I'm having such strong contractions, and my stomach feels so compressed and painful.
And what about yesterday and the day before?
The pain comes and goes. Some days are better than others.
You've been saying that for weeks now. What about the laundry that's been sitting there?
I managed to fold half of it.
Half isn't good enough.
I had to sit down because of the contractions.
You always have an excuse ready.
The contractions are getting stronger.
Stop using that as an excuse.
I know it needs to be done. The pregnancy is taking more out of me than I expected.
You're just not trying hard enough.
I'll get to it as soon as I feel a bit better. The doctor said I need to rest when the contractions get bad.
When my sister was pregnant, she worked until her 8th month.
Your sister had her mother helping her.
Don't bring my mother into this.
I just meant having support helps.
You're making excuses again.
Everyone's different.
Isn't that what happens to every woman who gets pregnant? You're just using pregnancy as an excuse to not do housework.
I'm not using it as an excuse. Different women experience pregnancy differently.
You seem to experience it worse than anyone I've ever met.
The doctor says my symptoms are normal, but every pregnancy is different. I really am trying my best.
Your best seems to be getting worse each day.
Maybe if you helped sometimes.
I work all day to support us.
But I don't know what else to do.
Try actually getting up and working.
It really is painful. Lately, my back pain has gotten so bad, it's hard to even stand.
That's because you've gotten too fat.
But the doctor says my weight is normal. I haven't gained more than the doctor recommended, and weight gain is normal for pregnancy.
Normal? You were complaining about pain weeks ago.
That's not true.
Have you looked in the mirror lately?
I've been careful about what I eat.
No, you've definitely gained weight. Aren't you using pregnancy as an excuse to indulge?
I'm eating also for the baby.
Your face, waist, arms, and legs are all getting pudgy.
I think it's probably just water retention.
You can't blame everything on water.
The baby needs nutrients.
I saw you eating cookies yesterday when you thought I wasn't looking.
I was feeling dizzy and needed something quick. The doctor said some snacks are fine.
The doctor this, the doctor that.
They know what's best for the baby.
That's such a typical excuse fat people use. You don't gain that much weight just from water retention.
I know I've put on some weight, but I have a baby growing inside me.
Stop making excuses.
You need some extra weight for childbirth and breastfeeding.
Just stop hiding behind the pregnancy. You're just being lazy.
My weight is being monitored by my doctor, and my weight is perfectly fine.
Sure, blame the doctor again.
I'm just following their advice.
Yeah, whatever you say. But you know, when my colleague Mike's wife was pregnant, she stayed super slim.
Everyone's body responds differently. Body types are different for everyone. Not everyone can stay slim throughout pregnancy. I'm trying my best with what I can handle. Everyone's situation is different.
Your best isn't good enough.
I don't know what more you want from me.
It's all these excuses that make you fat. Pregnancy isn't an illness, so at least do the housework properly.
You don't understand how exhausting this is.
I'm working to support you since you got pregnant, you know.
I appreciate you working hard.
Then show it by doing your part.
I will try harder tomorrow.
You better. I'm tired of coming home to a useless wife.
Richard, you've gotten so much harsher since I quit my job. Did it bother you that much?
Of course it bothers me. Do you know how tight money is now?
We planned for this.
Plans don't always work out, do they?
We agreed I'd stay home during pregnancy.
That was before I knew how useless you'd be.
We saved enough for a year.
Savings don't last forever.
I thought we both wanted this.
I wanted a wife who could handle things at home. You know how much pressure this puts on me financially.
We discussed this before I quit.
Did we discuss you doing nothing all day?
That's not fair. I'm not doing nothing.
The evidence suggests otherwise.
I'm trying to take care of myself and the baby.
What about taking care of our home?
I thought we agreed this was best for the baby.
Sure, for the baby, but what about our life right now?
What do you mean?
Everything's falling apart at home.
I'm doing what I can.
The house is a mess constantly.
I clean what I can.
Which is hardly ever.
When did you become so cold?
I understand you had to quit work for the baby, but coming home tired and finding a messy house or no dinner prepared, that's different.
But I never expected pregnancy to be this hard.
It makes me dread what it'll be like after the baby's born.
The baby will need both of us. We're supposed to raise the child together.
I know that.
Then why am I handling everything alone? So why does everything fall on me?
You're the one at home all day.
Being pregnant is a full-time job.
Here we go with the excuses again.
The doctor said I need more rest.
The doctor doesn't pay our bills.
Being at home doesn't mean I can do everything. I thought it was obvious that we'd share the housework too.
Share? While I work 12-hour days? You want me to do housework on top of helping with childcare?
You'll need to help sometimes. The baby will need constant attention. I can't do everything alone.
My coworkers' wives manage. Other women manage just fine.
They probably have help from family. You know I don't have that support. I feel so isolated.
Stop complaining and work harder.
Housework and childcare go hand in hand.
Why did you quit your job then? It makes no sense to quit if you're not even gonna handle the house properly.
I quit because we decided it would be better for the pregnancy. We both decided this was safer for the baby.
Then act like it!
I'm trying to prepare for when the baby comes. The doctor said I need to rest more. Of course, I'll do what I can, but once the baby's born, housework might not go smoothly.
That's months away.
I need to think about recovery time.
Stop making excuses for the future.
I don't think I'll be able to move efficiently right after giving birth.
You should be able to recover enough while you're staying at the hospital. You'll be in the hospital for a week after giving birth, right? Make sure you can move properly by then.
What? You can't be serious about that.
Dead serious. I need my rest too. Otherwise, when am I supposed to rest?
What about my recovery? What about my rest? I'll need more time to recover from childbirth.
That's what the hospital stay is for.
Recovery takes longer than that. I'll need help after coming home, too. I just want your help for the last 3 months at least.
And what about my needs?
I don't have parents, and you're the only one I can rely on.
My mother can help. Just ask her.
But your mother isn't very supportive. Your mother is kind of...
Here we go again with the mother-in-law complaints.
But she just criticizes everything I do.
You're too sensitive. I know you don't like my mother, but you can't be picky. You're all alone in the world, so who else can you ask?
That was cruel. You know how she treats me. You know the horrible things your mother says to me.
She's just trying to help. Can't you just ignore it? I know that Mom just tends to speak her mind, but she doesn't mean any harm.
Is that so? Because sometimes it sounds intentionally hurtful to me. Every comment she makes is just so cruel.
You're just being negative again. Sarah, you overthink everything. You always take things too negatively.
Because nothing I do is ever good enough.
Well, maybe it can't be helped since you're naturally gloomy. Like Mom says, losing your parents early probably made you bitter.
I can't believe you'd say that. Even you are saying things like that to me now.
Mom raised me well. You shouldn't criticize her. Anyone would feel that way if their mother was being badmouthed. I was raised with love by both my parents.
She only treats you well. She's only nice to you because you're her real son.
See, there you go again, being so negative with that kind of talk. Anyway, I'll ask Mom to help after the birth, so don't rely on me.
Please don't do this.
I'll help with the baby, but forget about the housework.
I don't want that.
You don't get a choice anymore.
Please don't bring your mother into this. Richard, dinner's ready. I made the menu you said you wanted, so please come home.
It's too late now. I'm already eating at a restaurant.
I tried really hard to have it ready earlier.
Not hard enough, apparently. You should have tried harder.
I really did try. I'm sorry.
Sorry doesn't fix dinner being late again.
I started cooking at 3 p.m.
If you started that early, how was it late? If you're going to apologize, you should have made dinner earlier. What were you doing all day?
The preparation took longer than expected.
Were you just lounging around sleeping again?
No, that's not it. I wasn't sleeping all day. I started preparing dinner early, but I got dizzy, maybe from anemia.
So you were sleeping instead of cooking? Just sleeping?
The doctor said I need to rest when I feel dizzy, so I just took some rest because of the dizziness.
There's always some excuse. Every day it's something new with you.
I know I'm disappointing you. I'm so sorry.
This is getting ridiculous. I can't take this anymore. I come home tired from work only to get more tired at home.
I understand you're exhausted. I know you're tired from work.
Then show it by having dinner ready. Then act like it.
I just want you to understand my condition. The doctor says I need more rest. I'm really sorry about dinner being late, but I'm in my final month now.
You've been using that excuse for weeks.
The baby is taking so much energy.
Stop blaming everything on the baby.
Don't you care that I'm carrying your baby?
The baby grows by itself. Come on, it's just growing by itself in there. What are you talking about? Stop acting like you're doing something special.
It's not that simple. The pregnancy is taking a toll on me. The doctor said I need to be careful in these final weeks.
Always with the doctor excuses. The doctor this, the doctor that. Always excuses.
I've been dealing with so many symptoms. My body hurts constantly. I had morning sickness and health issues.
You're not the first pregnant woman.
Each pregnancy is different.
You just want attention.
I've been trying my best with all these restrictions.
Every pregnant woman deals with this. You're not special. That's just normal for pregnant women. Who calls it trying when everyone else can do it normally?
Everyone experiences it differently.
This is affecting my life too, so I'm calling Mom over here starting tomorrow.
Richard, don't call your mother. Please, not that. Please. I'm sorry.
What's your problem with Mom? Why do you hate Mom so much? She'll help us with the housework.
She just makes everything harder for me. When your mother came right after I got pregnant, I ended up doing everything anyway. Last time, she just criticized everything I did.
You're exaggerating again.
Your mother kept pushing me to do more.
She was just trying to help you become a better wife.
I had to keep moving around during the worst of my morning sickness, and your mother's words were so harsh.
That's enough. Stop attacking my mother. Mom was saying those things for your own good.
She just makes me feel worthless.
Why are you bad-mouthing my mother? Don't you think that makes me feel bad?
I'm not attacking her. I'm not bad-mouthing her.
Every time I mention Mom, you always have something negative to say about her.
I just can't handle her criticism right now at a time like this.
I've made up my mind. I'm not listening anymore. Mom's coming tomorrow. That's my decision.
Please don't do this.
It's your fault for not being able to handle the housework.
Please reconsider. Richard, please, come back.
You can walk home.
Please don't leave me here.
Why should I? Coming back would defeat the purpose of leaving you in the mountains.
You can't be serious.
This is your punishment for slacking off with housework.
You can't just abandon me here like this.
I already did. Watch me.
It's getting dark.
Perfect time for exercise.
I don't have my phone charger either. How could you do this? I don't even have my wallet.
Not my problem.
What if something happens to me up here?
Should have thought about that before being lazy.
Leaving me in the mountains at night is insane.
You brought this on yourself.
And the baby's due any time now. What if something happens?
Just call emergency services. Just call an ambulance if something happens.
But my phone battery is low.
Oh, but if you call a taxi, Mom will show up again.
The temperature is dropping. It's getting dark and cold.
Perfect weather for exercise. Should have thought about that before being lazy.
You expect me to walk home like this? In this condition? I can barely walk.
It'll help with your weight. Maybe you'll lose some weight finally.
I'm 9 months pregnant.
It's perfect for your diet. We don't need a useless fat housewife who can't do chores.
How can you be so cruel?
You did this to yourself.
Please think about what you're doing.
At least come back thinner.
I can barely walk for 10 minutes without getting tired.
Then take all night if you need to.
Please come back.
No!
I'm scared.
Good.
I promise I'll try harder at home. I'll work on losing weight when I get back, so please come get me.
Too late for promises.
I can't walk home from these mountains. Please come back.
No way. Once I park the car, I'm meeting friends for drinks.
What? You're going drinking in this situation?
I can't drive after drinking, so I won't be coming to get you.
But the weather forecast said snow. Please, it's still cold, and they said it might snow today.
Better start walking then.
I'm starting to feel contractions.
Just walk it off.
The temperature's dropping. If something happens to the baby, I'll never recover.
You should have thought about that. Not my problem, it's your fault for slacking off with housework.
Our baby could die out here.
I've warned you plenty of times. If you're worried about the baby, then make a real effort to get home.
You're putting our baby at risk. The baby could be in danger.
Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe this will teach you to be a better wife.
I can't believe you do this to us.
Believe it. Better start walking.
What if I go into labor here?
Then you better hope someone finds you.
There's no one around for miles.
That's the point.
Please think about what you're doing.
I have thought about it.
The baby doesn't deserve this.
The baby deserves a mother who can take care of the house.
I'm begging you.
Keep begging. I'm turning off my phone now.
Don't turn off your phone.
Goodbye. Hope you learn your lesson.
Richard, call me as soon as you wake up.
Mom? What is it? I've got a hangover headache, so let me sleep a bit longer.
This is serious. You need to wake up. Well, your father got fired because of you.
Huh? Why? What are you talking about?
The mountain incident. How could you leave Sarah alone in the mountains?
Who told you? Did Sarah tell you about that?
Everyone knows now. You just abandoned your pregnant wife in the mountains, didn't you?
I don't understand. How do you know about that? And what does that have to do with Dad's job?
It has everything to do with it. You know how Sarah grew up in foster care?
Yeah, she's an orphan. Her parents died early. They eloped or something, and she said she didn't know any relatives.
Well, you're not going to believe this. It turns out her grandfather is the chairman of your father's company.
What? Are you serious? That's impossible! Mom, there has to be some mistake.
I wish it was. Why would I joke about this? Oh no, I said all those things to her because I thought she had no family.
She never mentioned any grandfather. There must be some confusion.
Richard, you really didn't know anything about her family?
She said she was alone. No, she said she didn't have contact with any relatives.
You need to fix this immediately. Quick, call Sarah and apologize.
How did they even find out?
Her grandfather's people saw everything.
What do you mean?
You have to get her to forgive you no matter what. She's the granddaughter of a wealthy family. We should have treated her better.
This can't be happening!
If she doesn't forgive us, we're finished!
Is Dad really fired?
Yes, effective immediately. You need to fix this now.
I'll try calling her.
Our whole family's future depends on this.
She's not answering.
Keep trying, and apologize properly.
I will.
What were you even thinking, leaving her in the mountains?
I was angry.
Just hurry up and fix this now.
Sarah, I'm sorry. Where are you? I'll come get you.
Don't bother. Don't even contact me.
Please, let me explain everything.
There's nothing to explain.
You don't understand! Don't say that! I was actually going to pick you up right away!
After turning off your phone?
But my friend got in an accident and was taken to the hospital, so I couldn't contact you until now. I'm really sorry.
Can you prove your friend had an accident?
What do you mean? Huh?
Show me proof about your friend. The friend who had the accident. Is it true? If you have proof, I'd like to see it.
Well, about proof, my friend only had a minor fracture, so he wasn't hospitalized.
I know you're still lying. You said you were going drinking with friends after leaving me there.
I can explain.
You were just hungover and sleeping all this time, weren't you? You only contacted me now because your mother told you to.
That's not true. I really am sorry. No, I genuinely wanted to apologize.
I see. Well, I accept your apology, but I can't live with you anymore.
What are you saying? You mean divorce?
Exactly.
You can't mean that. You can't be serious.
I've never been more serious. You abandoned me in the mountains in my 9th month of pregnancy.
I admit it was a mistake.
A mistake? You deliberately drove me there.
I wasn't thinking clearly.
I was already at my limit, and I finally found the strength to break free.
Wait, please, I haven't even thought about divorce.
I've thought about nothing else since last night.
We're about to have a baby.
You're the one who abandoned both me and your unborn child.
I'm so sorry, I wasn't thinking straight.
That's not an excuse for what you did.
I'll never do anything like that again.
I can't raise a child with someone like you.
I'll help with the baby. Remember, I said I'd help with childcare?
It's not about helping. It's about raising the child together.
I can change.
And how can I believe promises about something you haven't even started doing? I'm divorcing you based on how you've treated me all this time.
Is it wrong to want housework done? To have the house clean? I just wanted the house taken care of properly.
Stop pretending this is about housework. I've told you many times, I'm pregnant. I never said I wouldn't do anything because I'm pregnant, and I did what I could. Even so, you kept on complaining to me about housework and called your mother to come over, which made everything even more worse. I could barely handle this tough situation all through my pregnancy.
I'm sorry. I was just stressed out from work every day.
So that makes it okay? So you took it out on me. That's not an acceptable reason at all.
I'll change everything. You're right. I was wrong. I'll apologize as much as you want, and I'll change. But please don't get my dad fired.
I had nothing to do with that.
Wait, I'm still shocked that your grandfather is Dad's company chairman.
My grandfather made his own decisions.
But you said you had no family. Was that a lie?
No, it wasn't a lie. I only found out yesterday myself, too.
Really? How?
My grandfather came to pick me up while I was walking down the mountain.
What? How did he find you?
He had people looking for me at that time. Apparently, he'd been looking for me for a while. The investigators who found me happened to witness you abandoning me, so they contacted my grandfather.
I see. I understand now. I'm truly sorry. I was 100% wrong. I'll do anything to make up for that.
So now you're sorry? Only because you found out about my grandfather?
I'll never do anything like that again, and you won't have to do any housework. So please, just come back home first.
No, I want a divorce.
Think about the baby! But raising the child alone?
That will be much better than with you.
Even if you have your grandfather now, a child needs both parents.
A child needs good parents.
I'll work hard at parenting, and I promise I'll never call my mother over again. Please, I'm begging you, think this over.
Now you're begging me? After what you did to me?
Listen, Sarah, I want our family, because I still want to be with you. I was looking forward to having the baby, too.
Where was this concern yesterday? Even though you wouldn't listen when I begged you to come back?
I know I made a terrible mistake.
And if my grandfather hadn't found me, you probably wouldn't have cared at all.
That's not true. I was worried. I did care.
Then why wait until now? If you were worried, you wouldn't have waited until now to contact me.
I can explain.
You didn't care until your father got that call and your mother told you. Isn't it all too convenient? I will never come back to you.
Please give me another chance. I'm sorry. I was really wrong. I'll do anything, so please forgive me. Please.
It's too late. It's impossible. I don't need a husband who never cared for his pregnant wife, took his mother's side when she was cruel to me, and abandoned me and his child in the mountains.
I said I was sorry, but I admitted I was wrong about that.
Sorry isn't enough anymore. It's too late for apologies now. I've made up my mind to live for this child. I now have family who truly care about me. And I finally understand that you're unnecessary in my life. Even after that, my husband and mother-in-law kept sending apologetic messages, but I cut off all contact and had my lawyer handle the divorce proceedings. My grandfather also had my father-in-law's firing reversed, in exchange for my husband agreeing to the divorce. My husband didn't want a divorce, so his parents apparently forced him to agree. And I heard that he's now estranged from them. Honestly, I think if his parents were going to cut ties with him anyway, they should have defended me from the start. But I don't regret the divorce. I had no confidence in raising a child with such a husband. Due to him abandoning me in the mountains, I also got a restraining order preventing him from approaching me and the child. Though he was that kind of husband, he seemed genuinely excited about the baby, so I heard he's quite devastated. Still, he brought this on himself, so I feel no sympathy. Recently, I safely gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Though I had many worries, my grandfather has been completely supportive, allowing both mother and child to recover peacefully. However, I can't rely on my grandfather forever, so I'm planning to return to work when my son turns 1. I want to build a foundation where I can raise my son independently and put my grandfather's mind at ease, since I barely remember my parents. I'm still not used to my grandfather's kindness, but I hope that through many conversations, we can eventually develop a true family relationship.